Hi beautiful souls, welcome to my channel Elle's Temple. My name is Elle, I'm a goddess guide and intuitive tarot reader, and today I'm so excited to be bringing you a beautiful Virgo new moon reading, which is all about how this new moon is an opportunity to come home to your truest self. So today's reading is going to be a little bit different from my previous readings. This is a collective reading today because we're looking at the collective energies of this new moon and how this is supporting, how the new moon energies are supporting the collective at this time. So I'm also doing, as some of you may know if you've been on my channel for the last month or so, I've started a Patreon community, and I'm doing new moon, full moon, and new moon, full moon, and waning moon readings over on my Patreon, and as part of the Wild Woman tier. And we're also looking at other sort of astrological shifts and seasonal shifts, the earth rhythms and things like that, to kind of look collectively at how these energies are supporting us as a collective to step into alignment and step into being more of our authentic selves and manifesting the life that we want. So with that in mind, I also felt very compelled this month to give you guys here on YouTube a little taster of these new moon readings, because they are very beautiful and they are a wonderful time just to take a bit of stock. You know, new moons are all about clearing the slate. It's a brand new slate for you to clear your energy and start a brand new cycle, to set new intentions for the next month ahead. And so it is a very nice ritual, or a very nice time to kind of just take a bit of a breather, get your journal out, you know, get the vision boarding out, whatever it is that helps you tune into it, whatever rituals helps you connect with the energy of the new moon, and just take stock and just look at, okay, you know, what do I want to, what sort of energies do I want to move forward with for this new cycle ahead? Now that we've got a chance to kind of clear the slate, what kind of things do I want to call in? And with these particular readings, I'm looking at kind of how the different astrology signs for each month, as they move through the 12 signs, as the new moons move through the 12 signs, we look at how the different energies of each sign can really support you if you are aware of them and conscious of them, and working to harness those energies so that you can set new intentions and then actually bring them into manifestation. It's something that I've been doing for the past kind of couple of years, I guess, to huge effect, to like really, really positive and actual, you know, manifesting things on the 3D by doing this. So I would highly, highly encourage you to connect with those moon cycles, even if you don't join me over on my Patreon, just to do it, you know, in your own way. You know, just by watching these readings is a good way just to kind of just acknowledge it, you know. And I encourage you to do your own research as always, and take everything with discernment. You know, this is a general reading, it's a collective reading, but it's more just designed to look at the overall energies of this Virgo new moon, to call in whichever goddess is coming forward to help support you through this moon cycle, you know, because there are obviously so many energies going on the earth at this time, when you're going through your own awakening or your own ascension process, and you're also becoming more and more sensitive to energy. And there's all the, you know, big astrological shifts, like we're just coming up to the end of a big Mercury retrograde season, so that's also been a time, you know, to kind of like pull back, reassess, reflect, you know, figure out what you want to most communicate with the world, and all that type of thing. So, you know, there's all these kind of shifts and changes, there's all these kind of energies that are all in flux, and it can be something that can either be very overwhelming or kind of knock you out if you're not sort of necessarily being very aware of it. It can also be something where you may feel if you feel a bit out of sorts, you might be feeling a bit alone in that. Whereas if you're really harnessing the energy of the moon cycles, you can really work with that energy in order to essentially ride those energies so that you're making the most out of them rather than kind of getting knocked down by them. So with that being said, today's reading, we're going to be taking a look in the YouTube portion of the reading. We're going to be taking a look at what the energy of this new moon is bringing, what dreams or intentions the new moon is supporting, what quality it's calling forward, what you need to do to harness this new moon energy, and then some final guidance. And then over on my Patreon, I'm going to do an extended portion of the reading for those of you that are interested to join the community over there. And we're going to be taking a look at the deeper soul calling that this Virgo new moon is bringing up, and rituals, herbs, crystals, affirmations, and additional goddesses who are supporting you through this moon cycle. So if you're interested in joining that so that you receive this extra support, extra guidance, extra energy to help sort of activate you or connect you with your connect you into alignment with your higher self, then I welcome you over to my Patreon as well. I look forward to seeing you there. But for now, let's get on to the collective reading for the YouTube collective. So I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about Hestia. So goddess Hestia is the Greek goddess of the hearth and home. She is a beautiful goddess to call on, especially during Virgo season, because this is all about, doing that work to not only feel at home within ourselves, but within our environment as well. So it's a lot to do with, Virgo can often be associated with organization, getting routines organized, looking at health routines, well-being routines, looking at coming into balance. It's also a sign that's often to do with being of service, which during this new moon cycle, it can be a good time to look at where you are being of service to others and how you're bringing that into balance with being of service also to yourself first, so that you're creating that good foundation within yourself. You're coming at home to yourself first and then giving from that full cup, so to speak. So Hestia can help you kind of do that assessment work, do that work to kind of figure out what it is that you what it is that is most in alignment with your true self, so that you can clear out anything else that is getting in the way. So she'll help you to do that assessment across your life and within your home space. It's a good time to kind of really look at, like, where can I clear out some clutter, or where have I been holding on to things, whether it's physical things or whether it's even just like old outdated beliefs and things like that, or old outdated habits, or whatever it might be, or things that just aren't really serving your health or your well-being. She can help you to kind of really get clear on what is best going to be in service, so how you can best be of service to yourself first, so that you're laying that strong foundation to then step into your calling of being of service to others in whichever way you're feeling called to. So let's get into all the cards. So the first card is what is the energy of the new moon, and we've got Serenity. We've then got, this is the card about what dream or intention is this new moon supporting, and we've got Bright Future, the darkest hour is just before the dawn. We've then got what quality is this new moon calling forward, and we got Unconditional, which is related to the heart chakra. We then got what do you need to do to harness this new moon, and we got Surrender, Let Go, Freedom and Flow. Let's just move these up a wee bit. And in shot. Okay, and then finally the final guidance is Princess Savior. Beautiful. Okay, so I was just going to say pile number one then. I'm so on autopilot from doing pick a card readings. So with this energy for all you beautiful souls here on YouTube, what I'm feeling with this Serenity card, this is bringing to mind the Serenity Prayer, for those of you that might be familiar with that, which is, I'm probably going to botch it now, but I think it's something like essentially tuning into having the courage to make the changes that you need to make, the acceptance to accept the things that you cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference, or something along those lines. I'm sure one of you who knows it a bit better than me can post it below if you feel called. But essentially this is all about, similar to what I was saying about what Hestia can help you do. So it's like looking at where you need to make changes, looking at habits, taking a chance to use this as a positive time to not to berate yourself or anything like that. It's nothing to do with that. It's not like, oh my gosh, look at all this clutter I have in the house, or look at all these habits that I'm doing terribly, or whatever. It's just being very gentle with yourself, being very self-caring and self-supportive, but just taking stock, just taking that time out to look around your environment and assess, is this really most in alignment with me, and maybe sometimes, it's not even necessarily like it's cluttered so much, or that, there's loads of bad habits or anything. It's sometimes just where you can evolve, and suddenly you can sort of stop and take stock and look around your environment and be like, actually, I've kind of outgrown some of these things now, or I've kind of outgrown this aesthetic now, or, I've outgrown this way of things, or like there's certain hobbies that I want to try, and like maybe, you know, that home gym that I've put on my office, actually I don't really use that, and I'm not really interested in doing gym stuff, but what I really want to do is painting. I really want to paint. So maybe then it's just like, you know, accepting as part of this cycle, okay, you know what, I'm going to put the exercise on a bit of a back burner for now. I'm going to declutter, I'm going to move that gym stuff out of that room, and I'm going to set up a painting studio. I don't know why I got that example. Maybe that's something one of you are doing or feeling called to do, you know, but it's just looking around and being like, actually, is my home, is my environment most set up to be so that I can feel at home in my truest self when I'm in that environment? That is what this new moon in Virgo this year is particularly calling us to do, or at least what I have got through for this collective. This is very much what we're being called to do, is kind of look around and assess and say, what changes do I need to make? Are there any changes? Maybe there aren't. Maybe it's accepting that actually there's been things that you've been trying to change for a period of time. And maybe it's actually just accepting that there are certain things that are part of your life cycle right now. And it's just, you know, instead of sort of resisting and fighting against it, it's just going into more of a state of serenity, you know, hence the serenity prayer. It's having that wisdom to know that actually there are just some things in my life I can't change right now. So that's kind of a process that might be happening somewhat organically for you, or that this new moon cycle might be kind of calling on you to do. With this bright future, the darkest hours just before the dawn, this is the dream that this new moon, or the intention this new moon is helping you. So some of you might be going through a bit of a dark night of the soul, or a dark period before there's this new beginning, but I feel like there is this new dawn coming. I feel like, again, with all the blue, this is linked with the throat chakra, which is all about being true to yourself and all about being your most authentic self and coming into alignment with your truest self and being able to express yourself clearly, being able to you know, verbalize your truth and honor your truth. So there's something around a bright future where you're very much being called to come home to your truest self, and by doing that, that's going to ensure you a very bright future. And I feel like that is something that the collective very much is dreaming about at the moment. It's something that I feel like many of you are setting that intention to actually come into alignment with your most true self and to honor who you really are. And by doing that, that is going to create this new dawn for you. And this new moon in Virgo is supporting you to do that. With this unconditional card here, this is the quality the new moon is calling for. So during this process of doing this assessment work and writing this sort of last stage of this kind of the darkest part before the new dawn comes, it's really calling for unconditional love and self-love and self-care for yourself. A lot of compassion, a lot of gentleness, a lot of just that serenity energy, not beating yourself up, not kind of doing this assessment work, being like, oh my gosh, I've been so bad. I've just, you know, like I had all these intentions at the beginning of the year and I've not done any of them. And like, I haven't lost the weight I wanted to lose, or I haven't, you know, cleaned the house out yet, or I haven't, you know, published the book I was going to do, or, you know, it's not about that. It's not about beating yourself up or looking at what you haven't done yet, or you know, what sort of things are in your house that may be not quite in alignment with yourself, and then getting kind of cross with yourself about it. No, it's about just doing that work in a very compassionate way, in a very unconditionally loving way, in the same way that you would do it for like, you know, a close friend of yours. You know, if they said, hey, can you come around and help me? I'm struggling with some things. I need to kind of organize my space, or I need to kind of get my home into order so that things feel a bit more like myself, and I just don't really know where to start. And you wouldn't come home, well, hopefully you wouldn't go to their house and look around, take one look around and be like, how have you let it get into this state? Like, hopefully you would kind of be like, okay, like, sure, you've been really busy and you've had so much going on, and there's like, you know, a lot of emotional stuff going on, and there's a lot of like energies that are really intense at the moment. So let's just like take a breather, make a nice cup of tea, sit down and make a list. You know, that's a Virgo energy. It's like, let's organize the chaos. Let's kind of make a list. Let's make some intentions. Let's get really clear on how we can make our space, make our environment something where we feel more at home within ourselves, and something that's a better and truer reflection of who we really are, so that we can come into that beautiful space and feel like, feel serene and feel relaxed and feel like we're at home in ourselves, you know. So it's just doing that process with full unconditional love and support for yourself. Now, the energy for really working with this new moon in Virgo is this energy of surrender. And I feel like because this figure here, she's got these beautiful butterfly wings, and we had the darkest before the dawn energy. I feel like some of you have been in, or certainly many of us have been in, this sort of chrysalis state for quite a while, you know, as you're going through that ascension process or awakening process, or you know, just more aligning with your true self. You know, that is the butterfly energy, really, is, you know, you're in the chrysalis, you're releasing that caterpillar self, which is that part of you that is really all your conditioning, and you know, all of the defenses and everything that has been keeping you stuck and keeping you small and keeping you kind of just on the ground. Like a caterpillar can't really go anywhere very fast, like they just kind of move very, very, very slowly. And so, you know, as we go through life, you know, we come into the world in this state, but then we get conditioned, and you know, we lose this true self often. We lose this authentic voice. We lose touch with that part of ourselves, that free part of ourselves, and that part that really wants to express that true selves. And that causes that sort of stagnation in a way. And then, you know, as you go through your spiritual awakening, you're in this chrysalis phase where you're letting go of all of that. You're shedding that caterpillar skin, and then you're rebirthing as this beautiful butterfly, where you have that freedom to move and to express yourself and to just go where you're feeling called to go. And with Princess Savior here, this is kind of all about, it says on here, this princess saves herself. So this is kind of all about, with the crown here, coming into that self-sovereignty, and, you know, not sort of waiting for anyone else to come and, you know, save you in any way, or to supply the answer, or to kind of give you anything that you maybe have been desiring. It's like really understanding that, like, especially if it's love or whatever it might be, it all starts from within. It's all an inside job first. It's all about sort of practicing that unconditional love for yourself first, letting go, surrendering, going with the flow as you go through this new moon cycle, and then taking the reins of your life and saying, okay, again, it's that serenity thing. What do I want to change? Are there things that I can actually change, and can I put those into action now? What are some things that maybe I can't change right now and I just have to accept them, but maybe in the future I can look at, you know, XYZ, but like right now, what are the things I can change, and how can I put that into action, and how can I kind of take the reins of my own life and kind of steer my life in the direction that is more in alignment with my true self. That is essentially the kind of themes that might be coming up for you during this new moon cycle. Okay, my loves, I feel like that is all the messages I have for the collective here on YouTube. If you felt like this resonated for you and you would like some more support to know the rituals that you can do over this new moon, any kind of herbs, crystals, affirmations, and some also guidance on your deeper soul calling, I invite you over to my Patreon to listen to the rest of the reading. And of course, you get access, once you sign up, you get access to all the other readings on there. Even though for the moon tier, they are new moon, full moon, and waning moon readings, the actual messages themselves are timeless. So whenever you're drawn to watch any of those other readings, even if it's past that particular moon cycle, there may still be guidance from within that reading. So I will just put that out there in case there's any of you who might think of signing up at some point later. Just trust that, you know, whenever you're guided to any of the readings on anywhere on my Patreon, that there may well be messages for you at any time. Okay, my loves, I will hopefully see you over in the Patreon, but if I leave you here, have a wonderful new moon in Virgo. All the best with doing all the Virgo things, assessing and stock taking and making the changes you need to make, and working out where you need to be of service to yourself, and so that you can come into alignment with your true self and feel at home in your truest self in the world. All my love, my beautifuls, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye.